Nerd Rage Renegades.
Chief, he wild, Chief. Kulbir back, episode 175. He back, he runs this shit. What can you do, Chief?
It's his game now.
What can you do?
What is his character? Is he gonna go to the show?
It's a YouTube channel that me and Spin watch, and it's pretty funny. They take clips of things. Yeah, Djibouti shit.
Yeah, gotta love it. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is episode 175 of the Nerd Rage Renegades. And with us, as always, every 25 episodes. Now, Chief, did we say this is no longer the path of destruction? We're no longer on that path?
I'm thinking it's more like a glorious renewal now. It's not. It's less of a. It's like less of like a prophecy coming fulfilled. It's like this promise of renewal when Kulbir comes back. I'm thinking of it more.
He comes down from the mountain carrying the stone tablets, and we all listen to his words when he speaks.
His pontifications on comic books and the like.
And it is.
And you wonder why I keep coming back, because he's just so full of kind words.
Well, we love you here, Kulbir, and we look forward to you coming back every time. And we've been gearing up for you because I think, what was it you say, like the last 3 or 4 episodes we've been doing the comic book hero exposés on different characters. So it's perfect timing for you to be coming back at 175. And we're going to talk some Rebirth, I guess. Have you been reading the Rebirth?
I read a mixture of things. I think I, on the whole, read things less, but I still try and read a bit of everything.
Excellent.
But no, it's amazing. Like I was saying to you before, that if you think about when I started with you guys, way back when, and over time now, I stopped writing so much, and then I used to podcast with a group of local people, and then that's just finished. But yeah, here we are, this constant fixture that keeps coming back every 25 episodes, every few months.
We just figured every 25 weeks you shouldn't get a night's sleep.
It's really weird how it organically worked out that way the first few times. It was just every time.
Oh, it's like creepy, really. But it works out lovely, and it's always in my diary, so it always happens. And you get used to it now. So like, it's not as if I don't do night shifts regularly. So
yeah,
I'm happy to kind of be a bit sleep deprived, but it's okay. It's for the love.
The only kink in my plan is you haven't watched the Royal Rumble yet.
Oh no, because I would have watched it on my own, but I've got my friends watching pay-per-views every now and again, especially when it comes from the January to March, April time, because it's the best time to watch WWE.
Yeah.
And I'm quite excited watching it on Tuesday.
It's I'll tell you this, I enjoyed it. There was some slow matches, but I think you'll really enjoy at least the Rumble matches. You'll really enjoy the Rumble matches.
It depends on how much effort they make in the Rumble match. Like, you just gotta love those moments where they have the little special things where people fight.
The male match, probably the best one they've had in years.
Oh, that's great. And also, I love it. The ending, when the ending's done well, it's just the best. Yeah.
Now this one, of course, you got the women's Royal Rumble. That's the final match of the card. That they put the women on last. So the men was like. The third match in was the men's Royal Rumble. Then you had 2 more matches, and then the women.
And how many wrestlers in the women's one?
30 wrestlers.
Oh, so they actually have a full-on female Royal Rumble? I thought they had like a smaller card.
Nope, 30. I'm not going to tell you who's in it, but there are 30 participants.
WWE's making progress.
He's making progress.
You've got to give him credit for that. I mean, for so many years, it was like this horrible misogynistic kind of babe fest, wasn't it? And now
it was kind of. I think it was more. They thought it was more of a joke for the men to watch a bunch of women wrestle around, jiggle around, and now it's more like athleticism and competition.
Sadly, your home country girl Paige, of course, had to retire because of a neck injury, so she wasn't able to compete.
Oh, she was actually very talented. She was from Norwich, I think. There's a documentary on BBC One about her family because they're all wrestlers. And the next thing you know, she's a WWE. You're like, wow, this is based on real.
Yeah. So you get that, and they are doing more progression because next month is going to be the first ever women's elimination chamber match.
Oh, the Elimination Chambers are not easy matches to pull off.
No, that's a Chief. So Chief, the elimination chamber is you have the ring, and it's around this huge steel structure, and in the structure are 4 glass pods. So it's 6 wrestlers, 2 start in the ring, 4 are in these pods, and every minute, 2 minutes, one of the pods opens and another wrestler comes in until all the wrestlers are in the ring, and it's an elimination match. You pin one, they're gone. Things like that. But it can get very bloody very quickly.
Really, the women hit each other with chairs and stuff, like the men.
Oh yeah, they've taken them through tables and all sorts of stuff.
I don't watch wrestling. I don't know. I'm not.
The thing is, they made wrestling a lot safer in the last few years than they ever had before. So they don't do so much of that as they used to, especially with the whole concussion thing. So now that's such a big deal, as it should be, rightly. Now people don't take shots directly to the head with it, but they do use them the rest of the body. So these sort of matches now, they used to just be based around sheer violence and just to destroy the other person as best they can. But now it's a bit safer and it's less risky. But it's still, wrestling's never been about the violence; it's been about the story. So
now, are you and your buddies going to be watching the NXT show that was on Saturday before you watch the Rumble?
No, I'll probably be watching that, to be honest, myself, because so when was the last time I watched NXT? I think it's been a good 6 months actually.
This one had 2 amazing matches. You had Adam Cole versus Aleister Black in an Extreme Rules match. That match, Adam Cole, baby, really good match.
I actually met him last year when Ring of Honor came to Liverpool, and I was talking to him about these matches that he did a couple of years earlier, and he was like, "Wow, you know loads of wrestling." I was like, "Yeah, man, but you did this match, this is incredible." I didn't know how you were going to pull this off, but you did. And he was such a lovely guy to talk to. I never thought he would be, but he was just out of them all. I met him, I was really happy, and he was just a really lovely, charming guy.
So here's the thing, Kulbir. Given your profession, when you watch wrestling and you see a guy get cut, are you like, I know exactly what artery that guy. I know exactly where that blood's coming from.
You do, but then you realise that when they're trying to pretend which injuries they have and they forget, I don't think they can really do that.
It's I twisted, you'll see ones will act like they twisted their ankle, but then they're running across the ring 2 seconds later.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Whatever.
There are a few wrestlers, and Chris Benoit used to be one of them, that used to maintain their injuries to the very end, and I used to really respect how they used to their dedication to their craft.
Well, that's part of the. That's the skill is part of the tactic too, as well as physical exertion.
Yeah.
So you got to remember what's going on in your own story.
Yeah. What was the other match?
The other match is the NXT Championship match. It was the champion Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano. That match was amazing. It told a great story. There was great work with Andrade Cien Almas' manager, Zelina Vega, who was Estella Trinidad.
He's come along very nicely, hasn't he? He's quite did he speak before?
He's gotten there was a long time where he was just you didn't think he was going to make it, but then I guess something in the back, something behind the scenes, he got his act together, and now he's putting on great matches. I mean, fantastic matches. His match with Drew McIntyre was amazing a couple months ago.
It was Shinsuke Bobby Roode was the last match that I watched on the NXT pay-per-views.
Yeah, so you had Shinsuke versus Bobby Roode, and then Bobby lost the title to Drew McIntyre or Drew Galloway.
They gave it to Drew Galloway.
Yeah, and then he dropped it to Andrade Cien Almas, which was a great match because Bobby Roode got called up to the main roster, and that's my son's favorite wrestler. Bobby Roode is
a legend, absolute legend.
My son has 2 Bobby Roode shirts, and he wears them all the time. He absolutely loves them, and of course my daughter she only wears her Paige shirt because, well, her name is Paige. So she's like, that's my favorite wrestler because she's got my name, you know. So, but no, you'll enjoy watching them, man. It was a great weekend of wrestling. You know, we're on the road to WrestleMania.
It's the one thing I have not stopped doing since I was a child. So WrestleMania 3 was on March 29th, and it was I was 9 years old. It was on my birthday, and I remember watching it on TV, and it was just the greatest thing ever. And since then, I've never not watched a WrestleMania.
That was my first one as well. It's, Hogan and Andre.
Oh yeah, the build up and the story to that kind of stuff is just epic proportions. It doesn't get any bigger than that.
No, and you had Mr. T versus Roddy Piper in a boxing match.
Wrestling was getting like real rock and roll, like mainstream at that point in history, and it was like everywhere. I mean, you heard about that match everywhere that was going to happen. I wasn't even into wrestling, and I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, because Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon were just like amazing promoters, so good at what they were doing at the time, and they unified the game, didn't they? So there was the local shows all disappeared once Hogan came on the TV, and they had a nationalized TV show, and that was it. Like every little wrestling company in America lost it, and they just struggled to get it back. And it's really sad if you think about it, because there were a lot of like good local shows that were happening.
Oh yeah, we've got a local show that's coming to our local high school here on the 13th, and my son is excited to go. And a lot of legends will be there. Kevin Nash is going to be there. Scott Steiner is going to be there. The Rock and Roll Express are going to be there, and of course James Ellsworth is going to be there. Oh boy, James Ellsworth! Yay! But no, you'll really enjoy watching it, Kulbir. I'll admit, it was a really good show. There, like I said, there was a couple slow matches, but other than that, the Rumble was probably the best it's been in years, and there were surprises. It was really good.
Oh, that's awesome! I can't wait. I'm glad that there's a women's Rumble. They've been tapping the NXT roster.
I am not telling you who they brought in. I'm not telling you who they brought in. You got to watch for yourself.
It was the Iron Sheik. It was the Iron Sheik.
Number one.
Most entertaining people.
Greatest tweet. That was the greatest tweet.
The Monday can go fuck itself.
I love this tweet. He put up. Chief put it on Facebook. I shared it. He goes, "What the world needs now is to shut the fuck up."
And he's right.
he's
so damn right. I'm done.
I love the Sheik.
Chief and I were talking
on Facebook and Twitter, and it's the same thing, and I still love it. I've got to see it every day.
Chief and I were actually talking before you came on. We were talking about the state of comics today and how it seems like nobody is happy. Nobody is happy. I mean, a writer can pour his heart and soul into a book, or her heart and soul into a book, but nobody is happy with anything, whether it's on the comic side, whether it's in comic book movies, comic book TV shows. Everybody feels they are the head of Marvel or DC or Image. Although when it comes to Walking Dead, Chief and I are correct, so yeah, that one is right. We can bitch all we want about that fucking show.
No, I've got a real problem with the show taking the turn like it did, but other than that, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm happy with a lot of things in comics.
Oh, I'm happy.
There's a few things that I don't like about it, but and the other stuff I don't care. It doesn't.
No, that's very true. Is like, it's sad. Like, I really struggle with Twitter now because it's never about promoting good. It was never actually about promoting good comics. It was all about people discussing their opinions. But now it's just everyone seems to be able to think that their opinion means something. And I'm the first person to say to you that everyone has a voice. But I also think people need to not be so negative, and that's not a way to promote something that you love. And if something that you love is not what you once thought it was, you have to kind of accept that and then move on. Which is the reason why I stopped writing, because there were fewer things to write about. And recently there's been some good books that I've been like, oh, I can write about this. There's about 4 or 5 titles I'm thinking, I should really write about this, because this is something that everyone needs to know about. And I do, and there's so many times I think, right, I'm going to write about this, I'm going to do this, and I'm just trying to find the time now, because things in my life have changed a little bit, because like I was doing a PhD and I had lots of time to do my own thing, and now I'm back full time doing